Your life as concubine. The silk robe they hand you weighs almost nothing. That's the first thing you notice. How something so thin can carry so much meaning. You put it on slowly because you already understand. Everything from this moment forward is ceremonial. Every gesture, every word, every silence. The door to your old life closed an hour ago. You didn't hear it shut, but you felt it. Level 1. The Chosen. You are 16, maybe 17. You don't fully understand where you are yet. The compound is enormous, more like a city than a residence. Walls within walls, gardens that lead to more gardens, women who don't make eye contact with you, and older women who make too much of it. You were selected from your province. Your family was told it was an honor. They wept, but not entirely from grief. There was relief in those tears too. A debt cleared, a future secured. You understood that then, and it didn't hurt as much as it should have. Now you're here. You are given a room, small but immaculate, a servant, young, quieter than you. You're assigned to a tier. You don't know the word for it yet, but you feel the structure immediately. There are women above you. You can tell by how they move, by what they don't say to you. Your education begins within the week. Posture, language, music, etiquette, how to pour tea so the steam rises correctly, how to laugh without showing your back teeth, how to enter a room and how to disappear from one. You practice these things for hours. You are corrected constantly, but never harshly. The corrections are precise, almost surgical. You think this is temporary, that once you master these skills, you'll be seen, elevated, chosen. You're right about that, but you don't yet know what being chosen actually means. Level 2. The Waiting. Months pass. You've learned the hierarchy now, not from anyone explaining it. No one explains anything here directly, but from watching. From noticing which women eat first, which rooms they're allowed to enter, which servants they command. The system has tiers. You are in the third. Above you are women who have been presented to the emperor. Above them are those who have received his private attention. Above them are those who hold a title. And at the very top, a category that feels more like myth than reality, are those who have given him sons. You understand now that this is a competition with no announcement, no scoreboard, and no end date. You are not competing for love. You are competing for position. Your days follow a strict rhythm. Morning rituals, lessons, meals taken in a specific order in a specific hall. Afternoons are for practice, calligraphy, song, recitation. Evenings are often spent waiting, simply waiting. There's a specific kind of psychological pressure that comes from waiting for something you can't name in a timeline you can't see. You feel it every day. It sharpens you. It also begins, slowly, to hollow something out. You make one friend, a girl from a coastal city. She's been here 2 years longer than you and knows things. She tells you the names of the women in the higher tiers without expression, the way a soldier recites terrain, information, not gossip. She tells you the first rule: never show that you want something. You memorize this like you memorized the tea ceremony, like your life depends on it. It does. Level 3. The Presented. You are summoned for presentation on an unremarkable morning. No warning. A servant appears at dawn and tells you to prepare. The older women who dress you do so quickly, efficiently, without warmth. Your hair takes an hour. You sit still through all of it. You feel nothing, which surprises you. You expected to feel something. The presentation is brief. A large hall,
other women, officials, a curtain behind which he sits. You don't see his face clearly. You are observed and dismissed in under 4 minutes. That's it. But something changes after. You are moved to a larger room. A second servant is assigned to you. Your meals now include dishes that weren't available before. No one says why. No one says anything. You understand. You were noticed. Minimally, but noticed. You spend the next several weeks in a kind of electric stillness. Every morning you dress carefully. Every interaction becomes deliberate. You learn to control your expressions, not by suppressing feeling, but by replacing it. Fear becomes composure. Hope becomes patience. Longing becomes stillness. You are becoming very good at this. Your friend watches you with something complicated in her expression. Pride, maybe, or concern. It's hard to tell anymore. You find it increasingly difficult to read people sincerely because you're so aware of how they perform sincerity. You are starting to think the way the system thinks. That's the moment it really begins. Level 4. The Noticed. The first private summons arrives on a night in the 3rd month of the 2nd year. A senior attendant comes to your room after the compound has gone quiet. She says 4 words and waits. You dress in silence. You follow in silence. The corridors you walk are not the corridors you normally use. That alone communicates something, that there is an entire architecture of this place you were never shown. Passages, routes, rooms that exist outside the ordinary geography. He is quieter than you expected, more ordinary in manner. This surprises you, and you keep that surprise completely off your face. Afterward, you return to your room before dawn. No one speaks to you about it, but within a week, your status has shifted in ways that don't require words. The women in the tier above yours now acknowledge you. A senior concubine who has never looked at you directly now does. One of the emperor's personal attendants learns your name. You receive your first title. It is minor, a designation more than a distinction, but it is the first thing in this compound that is officially, permanently yours. The psychological shift is significant. You stop thinking of yourself as someone waiting to enter the system. You are inside the system now. That changes everything, because now you have something to lose. You begin to understand why the women higher up are the way they are. The carefulness, the calculation, the impenetrable surfaces. It's not coldness, it's protection. You are building yours. Level 5. The Favored. Favor, you learn, is not a destination. It's a current. It moves. You've now been summoned 12 times over 8 months. Each time something is added, a gift, a new designation, more access. You have a staff of 4 servants now. Your rooms have been expanded. When you move through the compound, people clear space for you. This feels like power. It is a version of power, but it is entirely borrowed. You understand this the way you understand the weather, something you can read but cannot control. The other women in your tier have changed toward you. The genuine warmth, if there ever was any, has been replaced by something more formal and more careful. You are no longer a peer, you are a variable in their calculations. Your friend from the coastal city grows distant. Not hostile, she's too smart for that, but the easy honesty between you has been replaced by the careful language of the court. You miss her, you don't show it. You begin to receive visitors, women below your tier who want access to you, because access to you is a path toward the emperor. You understand what they want immediately. You also understand your new currency, proximity. Proximity to him, proximity to his decision-making, proximity to the center. You begin to make small trades. This is unofficial, never stated, but you arrange for a younger girl to be positioned correctly at an event. A week later, her family sends your family a gift. Nothing extravagant, just enough. You tell yourself this is just how things work here. It is. That's what makes it so easy to accept. Level 6. The Titled. The formal ceremony takes 40 minutes. A title, a color designation, new rooms in a different wing, closer to the center of the compound, a seal with your name on it, an official record. You are no longer a concubine in the lower registers. You are a named consort. This is the tier where things become genuinely dangerous. The women at this level are not competing for access. They have access. They are competing for permanence, for legacy. The difference is everything, because permanence in this system has one real currency, a son. You don't have one yet. 2 women in your tier do. You observe them the way you observe everything now, with the surface of your attention, while the real analysis happens underneath. They are different, more settled. Their postures carry a weight that looks like confidence, but is actually something quieter and more certain than confidence. They know something you don't yet know. You begin to feel the pressure from below now, too, women ascending through the tiers you already passed. You remember being them. You remember the electric stillness of waiting. You watch them with the same complicated expression your friend once gave you. Politics at this level are no longer subtle, they are surgical. Alliances are made and maintained the way infrastructure is maintained, carefully, expensively, and with the constant awareness that everything will eventually need repair. You make a decision you can't take back in the 42nd month. You don't record what it is. You don't need to. You know what you did and why. You know it worked. You know you would do it again. That knowledge sits in you like a stone.
Level 7. The Mother. The first year of your son's life, you barely sleep. Not from exhaustion, though there is exhaustion, from vigilance. A child at this level is not only a child, he is a political event. His health, his development, his temperament, all of it is observed, recorded, discussed by people you will never meet. His existence changes your position entirely. His existence also makes you a target in ways that keeping this fact small and internal is now the primary discipline of your life. You have resources now that feel almost incomprehensible compared to level 1. A household within the compound, staff of 16, an allowance that moves in annual figures, access to decisions that affect people outside these walls, appointments, contracts, placements, small things, but real things. You exercise this power carefully, not because you are restrained by morality, but because you are too intelligent for recklessness. The Emperor visits regularly. Your relationship now has a different texture, warmer in some ways, more formal in others. There is a shared interest now. That changes the dynamic. You are no longer only a presence that pleases him. You are the mother of someone who may eventually become important. That permanence is the closest thing to safety this world offers. But you don't feel safe. You feel watched, because you are watched. You cannot speak to anyone with full honesty. Not your servants, they report. Not other women at your tier, they compete. Not the Emperor himself. That kind of honesty is not what your relationship is for. You have not had an honest conversation in 4 years. You've stopped noticing. That might be the most significant thing that's happened to you. Level 8. The Shadow Empress. There is no ceremony for this level, no announcement, no formal designation, but everyone knows. Your son is being positioned. The structure has shifted incrementally over years in ways that collectively amount to this. You are the most consequential woman in the compound, possibly in the empire. You don't move through this place anymore. This place moves around you. You wake before dawn, not because you have to, but because sleep has always been shallow for you since level 4, and you've stopped fighting that. Your morning begins with reports. Who visited whom yesterday? What was said? What wasn't said? Your intelligence network isn't official. It doesn't need to be.
Loyalty at this level is built over years through 10,000 small gestures, gifts, protections, favors, and the people in that network don't serve you because they're afraid. They serve you because you made sure their children were educated, because you remembered a name, because you spent a decade earning it. You have not raised your voice in 6 years. You don't need to. The women below you, all of them, including those at level 6 who feel powerful and those at level 7 who feel permanent, they do not know what this is yet. They know the shape of it from the outside, but the inside is something you could not have explained to yourself at level 3, because you didn't have the language and you hadn't yet paid the price. What it costs is everything that was soft in you. Not in a dramatic way, not in a single moment of surrender. It happened across years, in decisions made in quiet rooms with correct justifications. You still feel things, but you feel them at a distance now, as if through glass. Your son laughs, and you experience the love clinically. You identify it, you protect it, but you don't feel overwhelmed by it the way you think you should. This is what the top actually looks like. Not triumph, not freedom, not even peace. Clarity. Cold, total, unwavering clarity. You see every room as a map of interests, every person as a node of loyalty, leverage, or liability, every decision as a move in a sequence that extends years beyond the current moment. You are the most powerful person in a vast and complicated world, and you are almost entirely alone. There are nights, rare, private, when you sit in the part of your rooms that looks out onto a garden and you try to find something in yourself from level 1. The girl who was given a silk robe and thought it meant beauty. The girl who was learning to pour tea and believed that mastery was the path to being seen. You can't find her anymore. You're not sure whether to grieve that or not. You are still deciding when the report arrives in the early morning. A new selection from the northern provinces, several girls, one of them younger than the others, quiet, observant, the kind of stillness that catches attention. They arrive next week. She'll receive a small room, a single servant. She'll sit in the lower hall and watch the women above her and start to map the distance between where she is and where she wants to be. She'll think the robe means beauty. She'll learn what it really means. And somewhere in the years between that first silk robe and the quiet garden window where clarity lives like a cold light, she'll make the decisions that make her. The door is already opening. She doesn't know what's on the other side, but this world does. It's been waiting for her the whole time.